I sent her the link, didn't I? A while ago. Oh, she. Give her till 6:05. Oh, okay, she joined up. I'll do that after. Hello, hello.
Oh, hi.
How's it
Sorry, I
going?
have like the camera projector.
Nah, you're good. How's it going?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. And before I pronounce it, is it Esley or how would I pronounce it?
It's Elsie.
Elsie. Okay. Yeah, my bad. I didn't want to mispronounce it, even though I did.
No, it's okay. Thank you.
No, yeah, no worries. I love the picture on the wall and the cat.
Oh, yeah, it says, wait, I'm goaded.
That's funny. One of my business partners, he has a sticker on his like phone emoji, and he always sends me that thing. It's so random. Sorry about that
I know
though.
it's like a funny meme.
Yeah, it's like a little meme, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's nice to finally meet you. You know, obviously, I know that you're a little bit interested about, learning about business, but, before we get into any of that, I kind of just wanted to share with you kind of like an expectation of this meeting. I don't want it to be like an interview. The only reason I'm wearing a dress shirt was because I just got off of work. I took my tie and my blazer off. I'm like not trying to be like all professional. It's like, all right, you know what? Let me just have just the dress shirt on. But yeah,
Don't worry.
I don't want this to feel like, what was that?
I said, don't worry about it.
Uh,
It seems, I mean, it being professional is okay.
no, yeah, no, yeah, that's completely my how would I say, like my way of doing meetings. But I don't want you to feel like this is an interview, like just back and forth question and answer. I honestly just really want to get to know you, get to know your values, see, like what like motivates you, things like that. See if our goals and values align. And I want you to learn more about me, because I'm not, just like a robot sending messages. So I'm a real person. But yeah, I mean, before we kind of get into it, I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself, just so you know who you're talking to. Yes, my name is Christopher Castañeda Rodriguez. I'm going into my third year now. Um, I'm doing what MBE, so Management, Business, and Economics. And if I'm being completely honest with you, I was a completely different person, like first year in college, and even before that too. So
Mhm.
I don't think I was like, like, well, professional the whole time, like, have this attitude, this demeanor of carrying myself like this. Um, I was a completely different person. And let me tell you a little bit about that story because you're gonna be like, wow, like I don't believe it. But yeah, so kind of growing up, I grew up with Hispanic parents. They have immigrant backgrounds. Both my parents came to this country when they were pretty young, and so growing up, not really spending that much quality time with my parents, really kind of just made me to want to, like I say, do more because I'd always just
Mhm.
see them working two, three jobs just to have a roof over our head and being able to just put food on the table. So I wasn't really able to spend so much time with them as a kid growing up because I was kind of just getting babysitters or like with my tias, things like that. But Yeah, I mean, I kind of just grew up seeing that a lot and moving to like a lot of different locations, like when it came to going to schools. But I'd say by the time I was like 15 years old, freshman in, yeah, freshman in high school, I was just hanging around the wrong people, putting myself, in these like negative environments. I was at the wrong place at the wrong time. And, when you're young, you try to fit in, you try to be cool, you try to, do things that, you know aren't good, but you still do them just to fit in. And so I'd pretty much just do that growing up, hanging around, these negative associations. And it ended up getting me in juvenile hall at 15. And I was like, man, is this really how I want to, live my life? Is this really what I want to do? And it didn't like hurt me, but it hurt my parents a lot. It hurt
Mm.
me in a way like, damn, I disappointed my parents. They never once told me that, like, hey, they would just be, I'm mad at you. Like, they would scold me, this and that, but I really disappointed them when I did that. And after that, I still didn't really learn my lesson. I was still hanging around bad kids. I ended up getting expelled from high school. And I had to go to like a continuation school, like get my credits back up and get on pace again with in high school. And so I was doing that for a bit, and then my like once I actually was eligible to come back to like a regular high school, because no high schools wanted me, because I vandalized an elementary school with some other group of kids, and that whole school district didn't want me. I went to different cities, they didn't want me. And so pretty much after like say like a year of probably like uh, after that mess, COVID happened. So then everything was online. And so then like kind of a little bit after that, when like classes kind of went back in, I was a junior. My mom was just like, you know what, Christopher, I know you're a good kid, you're just hanging around a bunch of bad people. So she just moved me school districts. And I was in like Sonoma County. And now she moved me down all the way to like Marin County, so close to here, San Francisco. I'm from the Bay originally. And yeah, that was like a complete like shift for me, because I always went to schools where it was like, mainly minorities, a lot of diversity. And I go to like a predominantly white high school, and I'm like, dang, what is this? It was like a huge culture shock, kind of felt really weird, out of place. Like I was able to count the African American students there, so it wasn't
Mm.
that good. And pretty much just going there, I got enrolled into this class called Avid. Not sure if you're familiar with it or not.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Well, I
I do
did.
know it.
Yeah, there you go. I did that my junior year, my senior year, and that teacher in there, she had her PhD. She's just teaching because she likes to do it as a passion. She told me something that really impacted me. She's like, Christopher. She was like, you know, she saw something in me that I couldn't see in myself. She's like, you're so ambitious. You're very open minded. You're very outgoing. You're very loud. You're very talkative. She's like, have you ever thought about going to college? And me in my head, I'm like, I'm gonna pay to go to school for another 4 years. Why would I want to do that? Like I've already been through K through 12. Like I'm not trying to do that. And it was never in my mind that I wanted to go to college, because I didn't see that in my family at all. My family's kind of just work, get a good job, and then be able to like what survive. And I saw my brother. He didn't want to go down that road, but I saw him get a nice car. I saw him working two jobs. So I'm like, hey,
Mm.
I want to work two jobs. I want to get that nice BMW too. But what I didn't realize is that he only went to and from work. And so I was like, man, I don't want that lifestyle. I want to be able to have
Mm.
time, but I also want to have money, not just have money. And so when my teacher told me that, she was like, you should really go to college. And I was like, why? I questioned her. She was all like, you don't need to go just for just like the education, but you should go for the networking, the opportunities out there. She was like, she told me this quote. She was like, it wasn't you don't know what you don't know. I'm pretty sure it was, um, I forgot the quote, but she told me something that was really impactful to me, pretty much saying that I should really just put myself out there more and really just go out there and network. She's like, it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. And when she said that, I was like just thinking the whole day. I'm like, man, Loki, she got a point, because like it's really like the power of leverage, like leveraging your networks. So I decided to go to college. UC Merced was the one that gave me like the best financial package. Another side of me too was like I just want to get away from home, 3 hours away. Like my family's not gonna come visit me out here. So I was like, you know what? Let me go. I went to Merced. Still kind of bringing some of these bad habits like smoking, drinking, partying, and I still did that my first year. Not so proud of it, but it was fun, I guess. It was an experience. I guess everyone kind of goes through that maybe like their freshman year. But I kind of, took a lot of advantage of that. Man, like my grades were declining. I was barely passing classes, and I was really just like living life on the edge. And my parents would call me, "Oh, how's everything going?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm doing great." And then little do I know, I'm like barely passing my classes. And so I felt bad because I'm like, man, I just thought back. I'm like, I'm doing the same pattern again. Like I came, my parents brought me here. They didn't bring me here, but I was born here, and they were telling me, that they want me to have a better future than them, than their future. They want me to have a better lifestyle, a better life than theirs. And so I was like, man, my parents are sacrificing so much for me and so much time, effort, and to, for me to what? To just go behind their backs and go party, live it up, just be crazy. I felt bad. So I'm like, you know what? I want to do something else. I want to actually be able to, give back to them, be able to pay back to them. Maybe not financially, but maybe in the future I could financially, but maybe just be able to spend more quality time with them by not having to work all the time. So I actually joined Business Society. I did that for a while. And yeah, I became the director of the entrepreneurship department over some time. But I mainly did that because I just really wanted to, you know, step out of the association that I was in. Because again, in what college, I was still hanging around people who were just smoking, partying, drinking. Every time I asked them, hey, what do you want to do after college? They really didn't know. They're like, man, I'm just trying to get through the semester. I'm like, oh, what are your goals? Like, what do you see yourself doing in the next 5 years? Oh, I haven't even thought that far, bro. And I'm like, man. And really looking back at it now, my coach, she tells me all the time, she's like, Christopher, you're the average of the five people you hang around with. And when I look back at them now, I'm like, dang, all my friends were like stoners, this pothead, they just wanted to hang out and like do stuff like that. And man, like I was the average of that because I would only surround myself with them. So I was like, let me put myself in business society. Let me try to put myself with these professionals. But I'm not trying to speak bad on it because I mean, I was a part of it, but man, it wasn't really anything different there. So I was like, you know what, this isn't really like for me. But because I had that kind of business, I'd say background, it's my major as well. Just how I reached out to you on LinkedIn, my business partner, he reached out to me on LinkedIn. He saw that I was like had these business interests and I had some background in business. My major was business. I was in business society, and he offered me this amazing opportunity, and I was like, you know what? Me being very open minded, me wanting to learn, and me actually having that ambition, the thought of wanting to start my own business. Especially as a college student, because I was like, you know what? I'd rather start now and delay my gratification. So what when I'm older, I can kind of live lavishly, like have the time, the peace of mind to do whatever I want to do. But that kind of goes back into when I was a kid, when I was what, elementary school, middle school. I'm not sure if you're familiar with these kids, but man, I was that kid hustling. I would bring like a duffel bag and sell chips and like Takis and hot Cheetos and like the all the Mexican
Mhm.
candy. I would just sell all that stuff, Arizonas, whatever it was. And I even brought that back to college because I was like, man, I need some extra side, like some side money. So I would like make ramen noodles for people, deliver it to their dorms on my floor, and I'll just try to do whatever it took to make money. So I was like, you know what, let me just think outside the box. And so when I saw what another young, ambitious 19-year-old on LinkedIn reach out to me working for Meta, running his own business, and he's a full time student. I'm like, he must know something that I don't know. So let me learn from him. So yeah, I mean, I hopped on a Zoom call just how we are on today, and I've been running my business for like the past year now, and I couldn't have done it without him, honestly. But that's just a little bit about me. Um, I kind of want to hear your story now, or just hear just a little bit from you. You don't gotta tell me everything how I just like spread it out to you, but I just want you to
No,
know a little
yeah,
bit more
sure.
about me.
That was great. You are so well spoken. Like
Thank you, I
I feel
appreciate
like
that.
I feel like I was following very well, and I feel like I relate to a lot of parts of your story. And you said that I was maybe gonna be surprised about your story. Yeah, I kind of was. Like you are like really well put together, and not that like people who are well put together don't like ever struggle or
Oh,
like have like just like I wouldn't even say like what you described. I feel like that's kind of maybe more a common experience.
mm,
Like just like hanging out with people maybe who aren't like the best crowd. I feel like
mm,
I definitely did that for a while, like in high school and beginning of college.
mm-hmm.
But, but yeah, thank you for sharing all of that with me.
Oh yeah.
Um, Something about me, like I also have immigrant parents and I grew up in the Bay too. I grew up in
Awesome.
Redwood City.
Redwood City. Oh, there you
Where
go.
did you, where were you from?
I'm from a lot of areas, but I'd say like where I was from originally and right now, I'm like Marin County, like Novato, small little city, little
Mm-hmm.
town. I was in Novato. Well, technically I was like San Rafael, then Novato, Petaluma, Runner Park, and then back to Novato. So I'm in like the Novato area. I'm like 15 minutes, 20 minutes from San Francisco.
Okay. And
Yeah.
you graduated already.
No, I'm in my third year.
From Merced?
Yeah, but I actually recently just submitted my leave from Merced this last year because I actually came back home and I'm working here full time now as a bank teller for Wells Fargo. But I'm planning on transferring to SJSU because it's more business related. Because I'm not gonna lie, when I did choose to go to UC Merced, I'm like, oh, it's a UC. Like I'm gonna go just for the title. But I didn't
Mm-hmm.
realize it was like a research based school, so I was kind of just like not really thinking so much. But I'm like I did my research for SJSU, and it's a lot more business oriented. I'm not saying UC Merced isn't, but I was taking Professor Lee, and he's like, "Oh, you're gonna be a business major now." And I was like, "Oh, can I switch?" He's like, "Nah, you can't even switch anymore because you're doing 2 years of NBE." So I'm like, now I'm just stuck with management, business, and economics. It's like a lot more economics based, but sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's fine. That seems like a smart choice. That just makes more sense. But yeah, like I grew up in the Bay. I went to high school. Um, also kind of in a predominantly white like high school, and I came to UC Merced like straight out of high school.
Okay.
Also for the financial aid, it was like I think my dream school was to go to UC Santa Cruz.
Oh, they waitlisted me,
Yeah,
and then they denied me.
I got denied just like straight off the bat. So that's good. But yeah, financial aid with UC Merced was like the main reason why I came.
Facts.
And
Me too.
it was such a shift, I think. City coming to the city, coming from the city to like the Central Valley, I mean, that
Mm,
like I feel like it was an adjustment and I definitely had some resistance to it at first. But now I've been here for like maybe like 5 years. I took a gap period and I came back. I took a gap period of like a year and a half.
okay.
And my major is psychology.
Mm,
And yeah, I think there was parts of your story I feel like I was really relating to, or like I wasn't doing so hot like at the beginning of my undergrad. And partly I feel like it was because I was either hanging out with the wrong people in a bad relationship and like not fully focusing on school.
mm,
Um, so like I've like failed some classes and just gone through like some mental health stuff as part of the reason why I took that period.
mm,
Then I came back. I was kind of scared I wasn't gonna come back.
mm.
Or like my family was too. Like they
Yeah.
were like, okay, girl, but you gotta come back.
Like you gotta go.
Yeah, and I was like, no, I want to as well, but it's just like after leaving and like kind of struggling a bit in the first part, I was like, dang, like what if I continue to like not do so well?
Mm.
And then we made it through and I have done a lot better and now I'm on my last semester.
Oh, there you go.
So it's exciting. I'm also still like feeling like maybe imposter syndrome of like, am
Mm.
I gonna finish? I only have like two more classes left.
Oh, you got that. Two more classes?
But yeah, I'm like, but like, yeah, I think I need to work on like what I want to do after because right now I'm like looking for a job in Mercedes has been a little bit difficult, whether it's for like any like I've expanded my like my scope of like what kind of job I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm.
At first I was like, okay, like let me just get a job to like just like basic needs, like maybe not necessarily like my career
Mm-hmm.
like making steps job, but like even that was difficult. And like ideally, I would want to find a job that's somewhat related to my field
Mm-hmm.
or something I can just build on. So it's been a little tough. And so I've thought about like moving back to the Bay Area or I have family in SoCal as well.
Mm.
So like right now is about that time where I'm like thinking about like where I'm gonna be moving to or just like what I want to be doing next. So like when you messaged me, it was interesting because I think I'm not immediately like, oh my God, like you messaged me, like this is what I'm doing next. Like I think I'm very interested in like what you're talking about because I don't think I've really thought about like entrepreneurship
Mm.
very much, but what I have thought about is just kind of like, yeah, my family suggesting like, oh, like what if you start a business? Like, because I
Mm.
also make art, and I think whether it's because of like people being like, oh, like art can only take you so far. Like, there's kind of like saying like kind of like negative ideas about it. And
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I've also kind of internalized that a bit
Mm.
of like, oh, I don't know if I should be taking that seriously. I should rethink about grad school maybe and taking
Mm.
my psychology degree. further in order to, I don't know, to take that degree further.
Mm.
But but yeah, I don't know if I'm like missing something, but I think that's a pretty good explanation of what's been going on.
Mm, yeah, and I really appreciate you sharing all that. You know, there's no like right or wrong answer. I mean, you don't have to share everything. You don't gotta share anything with me. But I appreciate you sharing a lot. You know, you shared a lot, and yeah, you know, I feel like a lot of things like do resonate. You know, with one another, and you know, I hope everything's going better. You know, with like your mental health things like that. I've also had like everybody has had problems like that in the past as well. I feel like I know I have as well, and you know even some of my business partners as well. But yeah, you shared a lot there too. But I feel like something that also that I kind of like resonated with you a lot was kind of yeah, like that negative association. You know, especially like in the beginning of like college. I feel like it's kind of not like a cycle or like common for us, but I feel like it's because like we don't really know what to do. We're kind of just like, oh, I mean, I'm here. I mean, these are my friends. Why not, do these things, But yeah, I feel like I can like relate a lot to you. I really felt like that too. Like not like after college, because I mean, I'm still currently going to college, but I just kind of felt like I'd say like lost. I'd say like in like my first year, I'm like I don't know where to fit in, like the imposter syndrome. I'm like should I even hang out with these people? Like, should I go to a club? Like, what should I do? I just felt so like out of like place. I would go back home and I was a different person, and then I come back to college and I was like a complete different person. So I was like, dang, like what am I doing? So I just felt so like weird. But no, thank you for sharing so much. And yeah, I mean I actually kind of wanted to ask because I know you said that when you saw this opportunity, like you thought like your family's kind of like told you like, oh, you should start your own business, this and that. But before I go into that, I want to relate with you about finding jobs in Merced. That was like one of my biggest challenges as well. The whole time I was in Merced for like 2 years, I only was able to work one job. That was a seasonal job. It was alright. It was like a canvassing job for like when like the people were like doing like political canvassing. I
Mhm.
was going out there just knocking on doors, surveying people, but even that wasn't sustainable, and so that's one of the main reasons why I actually moved back home. I'm just doing like online school right now during the summer, but I plan on going to San Jose State University because I just know here in the Bay Area there's a lot more opportunities. Yes, for my major, like what I want to do in my career, like banking and finance, but just more opportunities in general, like this Bay Area and then Silicon Valley, like next to Redwood City.
Mhm.
There's a lot of opportunity there too. But yeah, I just want to say, that I know it's tough out there in Merced, especially for a job. I struggled a lot. I sent out like 140 applications, not even like a single interview. It's crazy.
I'm in the same boat right now. I'm
Yeah,
like
no,
applying every day. I think
yeah,
it's just like a small city, and like
and it's
I'm glad like people have their jobs who like already like are from Merced and stuff. I know like having the UC in Merced has like changed things a lot for this city, like whether for good or for bad.
hmm
But I think yeah, the I don't know what you call the ratio for like the amount of people that are here and the jobs that are available, but it's like
it's very
really low.
scarce. Yeah, it's like hard to get a job. But no, yeah. I mean, I kind of wanted to touch back on what you said earlier. You said that you weren't super like excited to like see the like when you saw the message, but like you were interested, and we're here on the meeting today. So I mean, I kind of want to ask you, like you have a psychology background, or like like that's what you're going for your degree,
Mhm.
and you're interested in learning about a little bit about entrepreneurship, maybe some mentorship. What kind of wanted you to actually like decide to actually hop on this like Zoom call and just learn a little bit more.
I think mostly just to kind of get to know you and what exactly you're working on. I
Mm,
think your initial message was that you had like an entrepreneurial team and you were looking for someone, but I didn't fully understand like what you meant by that. Like so for one it was just like to maybe understand more.
mm-hmm.
But then when I wrote back to you like kind of guessing like, oh, like, do you mean like for me to start my own business or something like that? Then I just kind of started talking about like my connection to entrepreneurship at all and just trying to relate to like what you were saying. Knowing that we're gonna have a Zoom later on, I felt like I was gonna get more clarity
Yeah.
later on. But honestly, I was just kind of curious
Yeah.
and I didn't know if you meant like I'm joining your team. or like you were looking for someone like like if you were somebody who was like running little businesses and like you were looking for someone to join your team in that way, I wasn't sure.
No,
But
no worries. Yeah, and I can definitely give you some clarification. I know you're probably like, dang, wait, what is this guy talking about? Like, I have no
no.
idea.
Well, no, I mean I vaguely knew what you were talking about,
Uh-huh.
but then yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, no, I can definitely answer that question. And yeah, I mean, that's great. Having that curious mindset is definitely something that I wish I had a lot in the past. Growing up, I would like be curious, ask questions, and people would just laugh at me. So then I just like, all right, you know what? Never ask questions in public anymore. So
Dang, yeah.
I'm still like learning how to like, be more curious. But I'm actually glad, that were curious. You decided to hop on a call with me. But yeah, so essentially, to kind of like break it down for you is like, yeah, I'm looking for, individuals who are interested in, starting their own business. And I'd, help individuals start, their business, if that's something that they're interested in. But I don't just help them like start their own business. Like, all right, you want a business? All right, let's do it. That's why I like to have like this like little meeting, to see like, yeah, if our goals, if our values align, because um, we do have like a 7-step selection process. It's not just like, okay, one and done. Because I really want to get to know you. I want you to really get to know me to see if I'm someone, see yourself partnering with, in the future. And yeah, so we break it down to, like I said, like 7 steps, like 7 segments, into like actually just pretty much learning about, how to run your own business, learning about like a business owner's mindset. Because if I'm being completely honest with you, school programs us to be workers. They don't really, I feel like they don't really teach us how to like be business owners. And so I never really questioned that until like my, one of my business partners was like, you're getting taught business by teachers. And I was like, what do you mean? And so I asked my teacher, I'm like, hey, have you ever started your own business? And like, oh no. I'm like, wait, so how are you teaching me about business if you've never started your own business? So it made me like question, like, be more curious, like have like start to question things a bit more. And so I feel like, this like 7-step selection process is really kind of just to see like if you're interested in learning about this or not. Because I talk to a lot of people every single day, like hundreds of people. People are like, oh, I'm interested. I want to like learn more about your business, or I want to learn how to start my own business. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Like I'd love to teach you. I'd love to show you. And then after this meeting, they're like, oh, they just ghost me, or they just like they just don't care anymore. And I mean, nothing wrong with it.
Mhm.
Like I don't mind. That's like the investment I'm putting into like each person. But at the end of the day, that's why we have this process, to see who's, curious and to see who's serious. But I've met a lot of curious people who have helped start their own business, and they've been pretty successful with it. But I say to kind of like break it down a little bit more is, essentially what this business is. It's e-commerce and franchising. I'm not sure if you've heard about those two keywords before. Okay, I can shed a little
Um,
bit more light. So e-commerce, are you familiar with like Uber or like Lyft?
yeah.
Yeah, so Uber owns a platform. They own an application like on your phone, right? You just download it. You have the app on your phone. Um, have you ever like wondered like how many cars does Uber own?
How many cars like are on it?
Like does Uber own?
I guess not. I just knew that I imagined it was just like a lot because anybody can just kind of sign up their car and they always need people to work.
Yeah, so it's actually zero. Uber doesn't
They
own
don't
any.
own any cars.
Yeah, they don't own any
Oh, that
cars.
was okay. That was the wording you said.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, sorry, bad wording on my part.
No, no, no. I think assumed something else.
No, no,
But
no,
yeah.
you're all good. You're all good.
Okay.
Yeah, so they own zero cars, but they have a bunch of people working for them with their own cars. So
Hmm.
essentially, what Uber does is they're just the middleman. They just have a platform in the middle, and they connect people who have a car who need money to people who have money who need a ride. And so, what does Uber do? Uber puts those people together, and from that one transaction, the person driving for Uber, let's say I'm working for Uber, I make like 94% of the income from that one trip, and Uber maybe takes like a 6% ratio from like my cut because I'm using their application. I'm using their like their system. You know, who do you think makes more in that one transaction?
Uber.
In that one transaction, I probably make more. But I already know what you're thinking. if you zoom out from a bigger perspective, Uber is making a lot more money.
Hmm.
So let's say there's like what 10,000 Uber drivers in what Redwood City, and Uber's making 6% from 10,000 of those Uber drivers. Uber's making a lot more than just one Uber driver, and what? And how are they making it? They're not really doing anything. They just created a system that pretty much helps them generate money. And
Hmm.
so I'd say that's pretty much kind of like what I'm doing. I'm creating a system right now, and I help other people create systems for themselves. But kind of like to correlate that with franchising, we can use like what Starbucks or McDonald's. You're familiar with
Hmm.
McDonald's, right?
Yeah.
Let me ask you, do you think McDonald's makes the best cheeseburgers?
No.
No. Maybe the Pab makes best cheeseburgers, better
No.
cheeseburgers. Okay, maybe not, maybe
The
not.
Pab. Oh Lord. No.
But yeah, the point is they don't make the best cheeseburgers. But the point that I'm trying to make is that they're easy to make. You know, they
Hmm.
can hire a 15, 16-year-old to flip patties there. Why? Because it's easy. It's simple. And so, you know, do you know how much it costs to buy your own McDonald's?
Mm, I don't know, like $10 for like a meal.
Like the whole McDonald's.
Oh, oh, like when someone like goes and wants to open their own in like a city?
Yeah,
No, maybe like $10,000.
$1.2 million. Yeah,
What?
I was like that too. I was like,
For what? Like that's so funny because I guess it's because it's such a big brand and they've been around for like a really
mhm.
long time.
No, yeah. And so, let's say I bought my own McDonald's and you you ask me, "Hey, Chris, can you help me open my own McDonald's?" I'm like, "Yeah, but first give me $1.2 million." You're gonna be like, "Dang, I don't think you or me together have that type of money."
Nope.
Yeah, exactly. So, what I'm trying to get at here is that it's McDonald's is simple, but it's not easy because they have a drive-through. Yeah, you said what a meal's like what $10 to get for yourself. It's pretty self-explanatory. Like it's not that hard, to make the food there. Almost every menu is probably the same wherever you go in the world, and every McDonald's is very similar. And so while it's easy or while it's simple, it's not that easy because if we correlate the franchising and the e-commerce to connect to my business, um, this business it's simple, but it's not easy. And we actually, shared some of those reasons why it's not easy. One, I mean, we're human, and there's human error. We're emotional. We get a flat tire. Things happen in our life, and I'd say like a perfect example of this is actually when my mentor he told me this. He was like, "Hey, Chris." Or actually, it went like this. I had a really big ego at the time when I was first, starting my own business. I was like, I want my business life completely separate from my personal life. And then he was like, "Okay, are you sure you want that?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "I don't want to get my relationship, my family, my personal life in, with my business. Like, I want this to be separate." And then my mentor, he pretty much humbled me. He's like, "All right." So he's like, "If you were to break up with your girlfriend, Christopher, would you still want to build your business?" And I was all like, mm, "Probably not." And then he's like, "So if you're not going to let me mentor you in life, don't even ask me to mentor you in business." And when he said that, I was like, dang, like, why would you say that? And I saw where he was going with that because since I wanted to have both of them separate, it really wasn't going to work. Because he told me this is a 360-degree mentorship. It's not just mentoring in business, but it's like life mentorship. My mentors, my coaches, they've been able to help me with my finances, something that my parents couldn't really do because, they've never really been so good with their finances. So my coaches, my mentors were able to help me with that as well. With what's it called, a calendar, like actually having like what's it called again, what's the word for it? I can't think of it, like having my own like,
Oh,
yes,
like your personal calendar,
yeah,
like
like my personal calendar, like they help me set up pretty much like what I'm gonna do every single day, and like they sat down with me and they drew it out for me, like, okay, what time do you work, what time do you have school, what time are your classes at, like what are you doing this time, what are you doing it, so they pretty much helped me set up, and like they did a lot for me, so I'm like, okay, I understand kind of, how this works now. And so the hardest thing for me was really being transparent. because my mentor taught me a really valuable lesson there. I was very honest, but I was not transparent. And he was like, "You know what the difference between honesty and transparency is, Chris?" And I was like, "It's the same thing, isn't it?" And he was like, "No, it's not." And so then I asked him, "Okay, what's the difference?" He was like, "Honesty is, if I ask you, hey, did you smoke today?" I'm like, "Yeah, I did." That's being honest. But transparency is go to him without him even asking me. Like, "Hey, I did this, this, and this, and that." He's like, "Oh, I didn't even ask you." Yeah, I'm still going out of my way to tell him. So whenever he told me, pretty much whenever it came to like any personal problems I had, anything like that, you know, if I felt comfortable, go to him. Because most of the time, it was really hard for me to like open up to like what random people at first. 'Cause I'm like, I don't know you. You're gonna judge me. This, and this, and that. But what I really value in this mentorship is the cardinal rules we have. We don't judge. It's a judgmental free environment. There's no smoking, no drinking, no vulgarity. Um, and there's a lot of other things too that just like I say, like are of high value because when I like first came around to like one of my first like actual like business like little conferences. Have you ever been to like a business conference, like a business seminar?
Maybe not business, but I've been to something similar.
Okay, no, yeah, that's probably very similar still. I went to like my first like business seminar, and I was expecting something like, oh, like super professional, like you gotta sit upright, like there's no talking, like it's super quiet. And I went into that room and I was like, man, like me, I'm very like outgoing. Like I can talk to a wall for hours. But when you put me in a room where I don't know anybody, I'm like a fly in the room. You won't even notice I'm there. And so
Mhm.
just how you are right now, I was on like the third step of the process. I was actually getting to learn more about the business, like the compensation plan, like the company, a lot other things too, like getting to see like the people in this like mentorship in this business. Um, I was really surprised to see like the diversity and also like the young professionals and even older people doing this business as well. And I was like, wow, the energy was like out the like out the roof, and it was nothing that I was expecting. And so I actually remember I sat in the front, and the meeting was actually in well, I think it was in Santa Clara. It's like around like that San Jose area, like Redwood City, like around over there. And I remember my coach was like hosting the meeting. I didn't even know he was my coach at the time. And they're like, "Oh, we have a new person here." And I'm like, "Oh, I wonder who he is." And then they're like, "Oh, he's sitting right here." I'm like, "Oh, dang,
It's you.
where's he at?" And they're like, "Oh, Christopher, can you stand up?" And I'm like, "What?" And like a room full of like professionals, young professionals, like other college students like me. And I'm like, nah, like, well, I didn't sign up for this. Why are you putting me on the spot? Like, who is this guy? I stand
Yeah.
up there and I introduce myself. I'm like, yeah, my name's Christopher Castañeda, this and that. My tie wasn't even on the right way. Like straight, like, like 19-year-olds fresh out like fresh out Chris. And I'm like, man, I remember that meeting my mom took me because she didn't
Mhm.
trust like these people. She's like, no, like they're gonna rob you, they're gonna steal you, you don't know who they are. And it was so funny because I was able to drive. I'm like, Mom, I'm gonna go. And she's like, oh no, like I'm gonna take you. These people are gonna rob you. You have no idea what they're capable. I'm like, all right, Mexican mom. But
That
after
was
that,
literally my friends when I told them I was meeting with you.
no way.
They were like,
we're on
"Who are you talking to?"
we're
And I
on
was like, "No, no, no." I was like, "I think it's fine."
no. Oh my gosh, no, yeah, but that was literally my mom. And pretty much after that, I just told her all about me. I'm like, Mom, it was great. It was awesome. I just took a bunch of notes. Like, I learned so much. I got to learn like a lot of like personal stories of these other people that I just met. It was just really inspiring, like really like interesting. Like I want to keep learning more. And I remember that same day I actually spoke to my mentor. That's where I met my mentor. His name is Phil,
Mm.
by the way. And I remember I met him there because when I first heard about him, I'm like, man, I heard like such like great things about him. And I'll tell you right now. Um, Phil, he's actually he's an international student, and he came to this country when he was like 18 years old from Vietnam, and he had broken English. He could barely communicate with another person. And he actually went to SJSU, and
Mm.
he majored in business, as a business finance, I believe. And by the time he was 22 years old, he was able to retire himself. And when I heard that,
Wow.
yeah, when I heard that, I'm like, nah, this guy's like, you're like he's capping. And then I found out he retired his mom at 23, his dad at 24, and then he sponsored both of his parents from Vietnam and flew them to the US. And I don't know how much it is to sponsor two people, but I'm assuming it's a lot of money. And so when I heard that, I'm like, dang. Like I want to learn from him, but at the same time I was like, all right, either this guy's like selling drugs or he's doing something illegal. Because that's just in the back of my mind. Because what, growing up around, seeing a lot of bad things, people selling things, stuff like that.
Hmm.
That was my initial thought. I'm like, all right, this guy's probably like a dealer or something. Like, nah, I'm not buying it. I gotta meet this guy. So I remember after that meeting, I actually got the chance to speak to him, and I was like, oh, I was ready. I was like, I'm gonna get the pressing. Like, who is this guy? Like I need to talk to him. And so I introduced myself. I'm like, hey, Phil, nice to meet you. My name's Christopher Castaneda. I actually have a question. And I was pretty, like, firm on it. I was like, I have a question. He's like, yeah, ask away. And I was like, if what you're doing is legal and ethical, will you be my mentor? And he kind of just looked at me and he was like, thousands of people ask me that same question every single conference. What makes you different from everybody else? And when he told me that, I was like, dang, he had me shivering in my not even tied the right tie. I was like, what? Like who is this guy? Like no one ever spoke to me like that. Like I was bamboozled in my head. I was like, what? Like he just questioned my question. Like what? And so like in my head, I'm like, man, I got this. Like I'm not gonna fold. I pull out my phone. I start reading everything off my resume. I'm like, oh, I got 5 years of experience, customer service, like this. I got this. I started working at 15. Da 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 da. And he's like, you can put your phone away. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, that tells me nothing about you. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, I have all this experience though. He's like, you know how many people lie on their resumes? And in my head, I'm like, dang, I'm too honest. I should have lied. And I'm like,
That's always what I think of. I'm like, people tell me they lie on their resumes. I'm like, what are you lying about? Like, first of all, I'm like, I'm not gonna. But it's like,
yeah,
what?
no, yeah,
What?
that's me too. Like, I was very honest with it, but he told me that, and I was like, dang, man, maybe I should have lied on my resumes. But after that, he was like, you know what I look for in a business partner? And I was like, well, what is it? If it's none of this, like, what can it be? He's like, I look for people with integrity, with accountability, transparency. If what you say you're gonna do matches what you do. And he just listed all these things, communication, a bunch of other traits, things that you can't see in a person the first day you meet them. And that's kind of why we're having this little conversation today. Because let me ask you, you think I can maybe see that you're accountable, that you have good communication, that you have integrity, all these things. You think we can meet that? Like we can see that on the first time we meet?
Probably not. I don't
Exactly.
know.
And that's what he told me. And so I was like, dang, Loki, you're right. And I was kind of just like it was like loading in my head. I felt like the little thing just swirling in my head. And he was
It
like,
sounds like he's like already starting to be your mentor.
literally,
He's like, all right, well,
yeah,
where
no,
do we start?
yeah, it's
Because
like
you need to answer these questions.
literally. And so after that, he's like, you know what, like. I actually like that. Like, I like talking to you today, Christopher. He's like, I want to see you come around more and definitely ask me more questions. And after that, people were just kind of just like coming and just asking him questions, stuff like that. And I was like, dang. Like that night, I just left thinking. I'm like, dang, bro, like what? Like, because I've never met anybody who, like the way he carried himself, the way he dressed, the way he spoke. Man, if you're thinking I'm speaking with conviction, like you gotta meet this guy. Like everything about him.
Mhm.
Like I'm not trying to sound cringe at all, but like literally in my head, I'm like, all right, this guy has aura. Like I was like talking to him, and like it sounded like everything about him. Like, bro, like who is this guy? Like I gotta be like him or something. But
Yeah.
and so after that day, I'm like, you know what? Like, that just sealed the deal for me. Like I gotta keep learning about this. And, like I don't care what anybody says. Like I'm gonna do this. And
Mhm.
so I just kept learning on more. And the main reason why I kept doing this was because it's completely free. I'm never gonna I'm never once going to charge you a single dollar. And if I do, then run away. I'm never once gonna charge you. And so that's the main reason I did it. And I wanted to actually try it out because I was like, you know what? I was like, all right, what's the catch? How much I gotta pay? Like what's this about? And so, kind of as I just kept learning about it, I learned that it's really just me investing my time into it. And the reason my mentor said, invest your time into something is because we believe time is a lot more valuable than money. Because money comes and money goes. But once you invest your time into something, you're never gonna get it back. So that's why we have the 7 step selection process to see if people are even, willing to just invest their time into learning about something new, learning about something on the side. And so I'd say that's like a little bit about my mentor, a little bit about like the mentorship and about my business. I kind of did want to ask you, like a question, but if I want to like leave the room first, like if you have any questions, comments, concerns. I know that's kind of a lot. I was just yapping there for a bit, but I don't know if you have like any questions, comments, concerns. If you want to ask anything.
Um, no, you're a great storyteller. Actually, it's actually really great. I feel like I'm not always like the most like I guess confident person. I love talking to people. I think small talk sometimes is tough.
Mm.
So I just wanted to say that you're a great storyteller,
Thank you. I
and you made
appreciate
it
that.
very. You've made it really comfortable, like in this conversation.
Oh,
But
that's
I
the
am
whole objective.
I'm curious if like so you now he is your mentor.
Yeah, he's my
Like
mentor.
do you think like a little bit of you and your personality when you met him or before you met him was already there, and then you started to work with him, and then he kind of like helped you kind of like come into this like personality that you have now, or is it kind of like you were already in business? So
I'm
is
gonna
this
be.
just like something you were already interested in? You seem kind of like
Hmm.
charismatic.
No, I'm gonna be completely honest. Yeah, I've always had this like mentality of wanting to start my own business, but like I'm telling you, like this was not me a year ago, a year and a half ago. Like it took time for me to change and develop. I'm gonna be so honest with you. I was an editor. I would sag my pants. I would wear like all these other clothes. I would talk a different way. I would act hood, and once I saw, the men in this business, the women in this business, how they carried themselves with such high value, I'm like, why can't I be like that? I'm like, why am I dressing like a straight and I'm not trying to like talk bad about other people, but I'm just talking about how I would dress. I would dress like a wannabe gangster, and I would in my head I'm like, I can never look like a sharp young man with a suit and a tie. Like that's not me. But I've learned to change the way that I think. I've learned to rewire my brain to like actually want to stand for values, want to stand for something because something my mentor told me was like if you don't stand for anything, you're gonna fall for everything. And
Mm-hmm.
so I'm like I said, I was not like this before. Like this was, I feel like I'm a product of the system. I'm a product of the mentorship, and it's not just me. There's a lot of women, even my girlfriend. She's been severely impacted by this mentorship because of the women in this business. Like one of my coaches, she's helped me a lot and our relationship a lot too when it comes to like actually wanting to personally develop. Because that's another really big thing we have here. Like before this, I would never pick up a book unless I had to read for school. But now I
Mm-hmm.
read to personally develop my mindset. Like what on my break today, I was reading Personality Plus because I wanted to learn more about myself. But man, if you asked me a year ago, I would never pick up a book. Like, um, it's really just like actually wanting to like become a better person every single day. And it doesn't have to be by a lot. It can be like by like 0.5% a day. But as long
Mm-hmm.
as you know that you're like, slowly improving, little by little, because it's gonna take some time, to actually like want to like actually transition into something like to change your old habits. Because we grow up with, habits that we think are like, we're gonna set us up for success, but in reality, we don't know what we don't know. But hopefully that answered your question.
Yeah, I did. I I appreciate you explaining this to me.
No,
And
of course.
you said something earlier. You were like you used to have a big ego that your mentor like helped you with stuff. I just want to say I really respect that. I think I meet a lot of people who kind of are like or learn not even in this
Mm-hmm.
like business world
Yeah,
setting of just kind of like
just in life.
developing and personal lives like kind of carrying yourself in a way of like you're shocked to be wrong or like
Yeah.
or like someone pointing something out to you like that you could get better at and it's always like well
Mm-hmm.
no like I don't know. I think that's something that I run into a lot and it's really
Yeah.
difficult
No, it
when
is.
it's like
Yeah.
you're trying to like I think I I relate to you and like explaining of like trying to like develop yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I well my major is psychology and I have consistently gone to therapy. So it's like more personal stuff I feel like
Mm-hmm.
that I feel like my approach is in.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that like I feel like none of us are perfect. So I feel like it's kind of like cutting yourself short, being like I have everything figured out.
Yeah.
And like
That was my
I
old
don't
mindset. I was like, oh, I got everything planned out. Like, I know what I want to do with my life. But I'm gonna be completely honest. Like, while I really do appreciate that sentiment, saying that, like, of me being like more humbled down, you know, I'm not saying I don't have any ego, because I feel like
Mm.
most men have ego, and that's still something I'm learning to, put aside. I'm still learning how to put my ego aside because I'm not gonna say I'm perfect. Nobody's perfect, but here and there, sometimes I do have ego. But now I'm more aware of it, and so now I'm working on it. Like I'm actively working on, trying to like actually put my ego aside and be like, okay, you know what? How can I learn from the situation? Or okay, I'm wrong and I accept it, but can you show me
Um,
how? And so that's something I struggle with a lot because, like you said, I would be like, oh, I'm always right, or like people would be like, oh, like don't do that, you're gonna get hurt, and I'm like, oh, I don't care, like it doesn't hurt me, and something like I'll just have a really like nasty ego that was really just
mhm.
like it was negative, not just to myself but to other people around me, and so I realized that that's not a good way to attract people or even make friends with people, but yeah,
Yeah, and I mean, like sometimes it's like not even like having ego is not an inherently bad
there's healthy
thing.
ego and there's
It's
just
just like
bad ego.
yeah, and it's like men and women. It's like
Yeah.
everybody can kind of like struggle with it sometimes.
Hmm.
And I know what you're saying though.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, I actually wanted to ask you though, because I know we were kind of like talking a little bit about like mentorship and a little bit about personal development as well. But I know I shared with you a little bit kind of like about like my why, kind of like why I wanted to start a business. I'd say like the main reason was because yes, I wanted to give back to my parents, but another big motivating factor for me was, yes, I want to retire them. Yes, I want to be able to, be, financially independent and, be able to retire myself, just like my mentor retired my parents by the time that they're 45. But another thing was really just personally developing myself to become the best version of myself because like I said, I would always had this big ego of I thought I was perfect and I like what in the past I would work out a lot, I had like this great physique and I'm like, oh, I'm better than everyone else and then what? God just slapped me in the face and I was like, all right, you know what? I gained weight again. Now I'm back again, starting barely just but I mean I kinda wanna ask you, like what's like your motivating factor, like, what's kinda making you like wanna go to college? What's making you to wanna hop on this meeting? Like what's pushing you, kinda waking up every morning to like actually wanna do things?
I think right now, like if I'm being really honest, I think I'm still in the phase of like figuring that out. I think what I
Mm-hmm.
know right now is that like what's important to me is that like I'm not going to be in college with like the support that they give me forever
Mm,
of like financial aid and stuff. And the only reason why I was able to be in college for this long is because of financial aid, because I got
mm,
like a full ride because of just the need. But yeah, both my parents are like they're both immigrants and don't they don't make a whole lot of money. Like my dad is a landscaper and my mom, she hurt herself. So she's like she can't have a job right now.
mm-hmm.
And I have two older siblings.
Mm,
And so one of my siblings, she works for the city of West Hollywood. And it's like, you know how people talk about like trying to break the intergenerational like poverty and stuff.
mm,
And I think right now I'm looking at like what the future would look like and I want to do the job and like take care of myself. Ultimately like giving back to my family. So like I think I just want to continue on and like just have more achievements under my belt. Like so I feel good about myself and then I really just want to take care of my family
mm.
and so that I don't have to rely on them and they also don't have to worry as like they're getting older.
No, yeah, no, and I really appreciate you sharing that, and I want to say sorry about what happened to your mom. I know for me, my mom has also kind of gone through some, some like health challenges as well. Like she actually hurt herself when I was younger. I remember I experienced it. She took me to work with her, and she actually
Mm-hmm.
she helped some lady get her hair stuck out of like those escalators, like the ones that move up, like not like the elevators, but like the escalators. My mom used to work at a mall, and some lady got her hair stuck in the escalator. I don't know how it happened, and pretty much my mom went to go like went to go help her, and like the thing didn't stop. She like tried to emergency stop it, and she like was helping the lady like ripped out some of her hair, but in doing so, she like dislocated like two discs in her back, and so
Oh
ever since
no.
that day, she's always had like pain. She's always, like going through a lot, but yet she still works full time to maintain a house for my siblings, for me. And so
Mm-hmm.
I see that, like my mom doesn't need to tell me she's tired. Like I can see it when she comes back from work. And so, seeing that, seeing my dad work every single day, because yeah, my dad used to do landscaping too. My grandpa does that a lot still, and I see him do that. I used to actually go help him do that too. a few summers
Hmm.
ago. But my dad right now, he has his own small business, his own taco truck business. But while it is, yeah, his own business, I'm happy for him. I helped him kind of start that up a little bit as well too. Also like with like the economics and like finance side of it. But really, it's like he's the first one in and he's like the last one out. And if he's not there, he's not making money. So my dad's
Hmm.
like putting in 12 hours, 14 hours a day, 70, 80 hour weeks. So like I'd never really see my dad. I saw him yesterday for Father's Day and like I hadn't seen him in like 2 weeks. So it's like, you know, while yeah, he is making money, but it's like at what cost? Like where's the family time? He's always there. And so, you know, like you said, I really just want to be able to give back to them. I really want to just be able to give them that life that they always dreamed of wanting. They say they want to travel. They've only been to like two states, California and Nevada. So it's like I want them to see the world. I want them, to go experience and see life and stuff like that. So that's kind of one of like my motivating factors. But I feel like like it resonates a lot with one another. But yeah, I actually kind of it actually made me think of another question to ask you. I know you said that you haven't really thought so much about your why, and that's completely fine. When I was like first starting off, even now, my why is a little blurry. I say that about my parents, but sometimes my actions don't align. So, it's still like a work in progress for myself as well, because I'm not perfect either. But I also kind of want to ask you, like, have you ever had like a mentor, or have you ever like, like, yeah, like had a mentor, like, like, or who do you go to, like, when you ask for advice? I'm kind of just curious.
Um, when it comes to like maybe more like mental health stuff, I guess like my therapist, which is maybe not fully related to your question, but I think it is really important because I feel like that's how I navigate. It's like what is your mindset like
Yeah.
every day, like to motivate yourself. Because
Mm,
at the end of the day, like you're not with your family every day. You need to like motivate yourself, make your routine, and
yeah.
like do what you need to do every day. But outside of that, I have my two older siblings and their husbands who I've known since I was like 8 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like my sisters, they're older than me about 10 and 13 years.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of the times I'm asking them any like serious like decision I'm making or like advice. Like a lot of the times they've already gone through something super similar and
Mm-hmm.
they'll like advise me. Though they also know that like I'm doing my own thing and like I'm gonna decide what to do on my own.
Mm-hmm.
And if not that, through my friends who recently have been a better group of friends.
Okay. No, yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Thank you for answering that. I was just curious because usually I ask people that question, like, oh, my parents, and I relate with them a lot because that's like the only people I'd go to. Because I'm like, well, why would my parents lie to me? Why would they tell me negative, like, like wrong advice?
Yeah.
But like you said, like my parents, they've gone through a lot of stuff. They've lived a lot of life. So I'm like, they probably know more than me. But when it came to like asking my parents like for financial advice, maybe they weren't maybe they weren't so qualified to give me that because
Mhm.
if if we were doing good financially, we probably wouldn't be in Section 8 housing. We probably wouldn't be in like like living day by day, especially growing up. So like some things, yes, I do ask my parents. I'm not saying don't go and ask people for advice. I'm just trying to make you aware of like who is qualified to give you that advice, because me before, man, I would just take advice from anybody, my friends or from my parents or like my siblings, and I would just take it and run. I wouldn't
Mhm.
filter it. I wouldn't think about it. Like, okay, they're right. Like, I'm gonna do that. Like, I would just turn around and like, all right, apply the advice. But now I just try to get a lot of different perspective, and then I go to my coach, I go to my mentor, my business partner. Hey, what do you guys think? What should I do? And then I can kind of compare and see what's applicable and what I should filter out. Because I still ask my parents for advice. Maybe I just don't take it now, but I still ask them just to see like what they would think about something if I were to make this decision, how they would react, things like that. But yeah, no, I kind of just wanted to ask you that just to like kind of see like who you go to like when it comes to like asking like questions and things like that. But no, yeah, I feel like a therapist is actually really good too, because I feel like they're gonna be there to help you. They're not gonna tell you things to hurt you. Because you're there because obviously like things are going on. For me, I'm gonna be honest. I've never had a therapist. I'd say like for me, I remember I actually did a research paper when I was there in UC Merced, and I did research on like exercising and running, like physical health. And so I actually found out that it was like scientifically proven that, to reduce stress and like depression by like 33%. Um, or sorry, if you go on like a 15-minute run, like every day, and like outside in the nature, not like in the treadmill at the gym, but like outside in nature, it reduces
Mhm.
stress by like 33%. And I'm like, man, if I go run outside for like 30 minutes to an hour, I'm gonna be stress and depression free. Like I'll be good. So that's kind of like my like little like mental therapy right there. Um, really just going out like in nature. I like to go on hikes and go on runs and stuff like that. Like today in the morning, I had to wake up, go on a run because if I didn't, man, I just be like, I would just beat myself up all day. Man, you woke up early, you didn't go on a run. What's wrong with you, Chris? But like the past week, I've been slacking on running, so it's like baby steps. But no, yeah,
No, it's true. Like it is scientifically proven that like it's exercise in general, and it's like going through the basic needs
it makes
thing
you
of like
happy.
water, food, like enough sleep,
Yes.
and then some exercise. Sometimes I used to be really, I think maybe I still am kind of stubborn about how like when I do it and I'm like, I see the effects, I'm like, oh, like so if I just do this every day, like maybe, maybe I'll feel better like on some days.
Oh yeah, definitely. I literally tell that to my girlfriend too. She's like, "Oh, but like I don't want to." I'm like, "That right there, that's what's holding you back. Like you don't want to, but like you need to go do it." And then she's like, "Oh," and then she's anemic, so like she doesn't drink water. And I gotta remind, "Did you drink water today? Did you drink water today?" She's
Yeah.
like, "No, I haven't been drinking water." I'm like, "Go drink water." But no, yeah, that's just a little bit about her. Didn't mean to put her on blast. She's anemic. She's like, Why are you talking about me?"
No,
But
you're fine. I'm low on iron.
every day,
Very
literally,
common.
literally yesterday, she was like, "Do you have water?" And no, she asked me. She was like, "Do you have juice?" I'm like, "I have juice and soda." And then she's like, "Can I get soda?" I'm like, "You're gonna get water." She's like, "But what?" I'm like, "All right, drink a water bottle first, then I get you something else." But no, yeah, same. She's low on iron too, so I'm like, "Take your vitamins." But yeah,
Oh,
no, yeah, I appreciate you sharing that though. I feel like yeah, like you said earlier, that like but we're just getting to know like one another. Honestly, like I don't want this to be like very transactional. But yeah, I mean, I wanted to see. I wanted to ask you a question earlier, but I kind of forgot because we just started talking about other stuff. But
we were talking about mentorship
mm,
and who I talked to,
oh yeah, yeah,
and
yeah, like when it comes to like asking people for advice. Um, yeah, well, I mean, I think actually that was kind of it. Like who do you ask for advice, your why.
oh,
Um,
and now you're gonna charge me like $3,000.
no,
No,
definitely not. No, I don't know.
you said that's when I run, no?
No, you're
Get
funny.
out.
No, yeah, but no, I mean, well, I mean, if you don't have any other questions, I mean, it's kind of like a conclusion of our meeting. Um, I don't want to take up too much of your time. I don't want to, I mean, obviously, maybe if you're interested to learn more, we can sit down again, maybe have another, like, conversation. Maybe I can introduce you to one of my business partners if that's something you'd be interested in. Maybe we can talk a little bit more about business just because, honestly, I just really wanted to get to know you more, just to see, like, if we even, like, vibe with each other. Because, man, I talk to some people sometimes, they're just, like, straight face the whole time. I'm like, I'm
Hmm.
like, my fault. Like, I'm sorry.
Feels
But,
very serious sometimes. I think this was a nice meeting. I
yeah.
think it felt like I was talking to a friend.
Yeah, it felt genuine, right? Yeah. And that's how I try to make every meeting. But sometimes people are just like, oh, tell me about your business. That's the only reason I'm
This
here. And
is
I'm like,
this is business.
I'm like, all right, like you want to learn about business, go pay someone so you can learn about business. But
Well, maybe I do have a couple questions.
okay, yeah, yeah.
So essentially, we were getting to know each other today,
Mm-hmm.
but like we would sit down again. We would talk more about like if I was interested, how to begin like kind of working with you of because you have a mentor, but you're
Mm-hmm.
also a part of like a business team.
So like I'm part of a mentorship, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
But I
you're a
but
mentor,
yeah, but I have my own business. Yeah, I have a mentor who's helped me start my own business.
but you're also a mentor.
I wish I was, I mean, I wouldn't call myself a mentor.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm not at that level yet. I'm still a mentee. I feel like. the best leaders or the best followers, like the best like students. So I feel like I would
Mhm.
still consider myself a student because you can never stop learning. Like I've met people who are like in their 70s, 80s who are still learning, like reading books. Not saying I'm gonna learn forever, but it's like yes, that's also another reason why I'm doing this business because hopefully I want to be a mentor. I want to be able to impact other people. I've only been able to impact a few small group of people. Like I said, I have a small business team. I've been able to impact a few, some people who are interested in starting their own business. But
Mhm.
unlike my mentor, he's been able to impact thousands, hundreds of thousands of people. He has businesses in Toronto, businesses in SoCal, businesses in Texas and Arizona, and Vietnam, here. So his business is scaled up. But to
Yeah.
give you like a better insight, like if we did meet up next time, if you're still interested, we kind of talk to you like about like the business structure, the model of the business, kind of like how it works, so you can kind of get like a more clear understanding of like what this is because you're probably like thinking like
Mhm.
what is this business, I don't know. um uh I do know what you're saying, kind of like expectations, like partnership expectations, that might be later on. If you're like,
I'm still in a meeting.
sorry, I don't want to interrupt.
No, you're fine. My roommates, they just check in on me a lot.
Those are good roommates, man. My roommates
Yeah.
never checked up on me. They're just walk in and like, I'm in a meeting, they walk behind me shirtless. I'm like, bro, what do you do? Like,
I know
but
you're talking, and I was like, I'm sorry.
no, you're good, you're good. But yeah.
I'm still good here. I like no rush.
Oh yeah, and so pretty much like the next meeting would be like, yeah, like the business model, the structure, like how it works, and maybe I'd introduce you to one of my business partners. Um, I'd say he's a little bit like me. He's a bit more on like, I'd say like the quiet side. He's a really big introvert, but he's been able to actually step out of his comfort zone a lot. Like me, I'm naturally an extrovert. I can talk for hours, but I'm learning how to like think more and like learning how to like think before I speak, learning how to like hold myself back sometimes. But him on the other side, man, he's like, you won't even notice he's in the room. But he's really been able to like shift his like he has like a switch. He can be like me or he can be quiet like himself. And I'm like, dang, how can he do that? And so that,
Maybe he's like an introvert and extrovert because I feel like
yeah,
you're talking about you're working on like thinking more and like pulling yourself down or whatever. But
mhm.
like I think you bring something really good to the table because I feel like you made this conversation like it's like you're inspiring other people to also come out and like talk and like feel safe to
I
talk
mean,
about
that's really
things.
like,
So maybe like that's what your friend or your what would you call him?
yeah, my business partner. His name is
Yeah,
Tona.
your business partner.
Yeah,
Maybe he
and
feels the same way.
yeah, and I mean, I feel I literally I call each other yin and yang because
Hmm.
I need what he has and he needs what I have. And so pretty much like that's why we're like compatible, even though we argue sometimes, but we're still compatible.
Yeah.
But like I feel like he'd definitely be able to, I feel like you guys would relate a lot if you think you related with me and you got to know me pretty good. He can definitely share with you his story. I feel like we're very similar in backgrounds, me and him. So you might be like, hey,
Mm.
are you guys like related to each other? Because we have pretty like similar upbringings. We're both Hispanic immigrant parents. But his background story is a little bit different than mine. But yeah, I mean, he's a great guy. I've most of the things that I know today is because of him, the people he's introduced me to, the lessons he's taught me, and overall, pretty much just like being able to like I actually want to learn from other people. But yeah, I have like I definitely would like to introduce you to him in the future if you're still interested. But yeah, that's pretty much like what we'd cover in like the next meeting, maybe like an hour and a half max. I doubt it would be like 2 hours. Usually, like I just show you like a slideshow to kind of like explain things to you, and then we kind of just like teach you little by little about like business owner mindset because we could sit here for like 8 hours and I can tell you everything about my business, but I don't think you or me want to do that. No,
Maybe not the first one.
exactly. Yeah.
Like
No, yeah.
I think this is a definitely digestible, like get to know you.
Exactly. And that's
But
what.
you're saying like if we were I think I would be interested in another meeting. You're saying so then the next one would be what would I be preparing for?
Mm,
Like why did you reach out to me?
okay. No, so I reached out to a lot of like what college students, professionals. Man, sometimes I even reach out to high school students like on accident because I'm like, man, you're in high school and you have LinkedIn. Like, I got LinkedIn when I was like a freshman in college. Like, you're already setting yourself up. Um, so what? Like sometimes I go through people's profiles. I'm just curious. I'm like, oh, maybe they have like similar background like me. They're Hispanic, or they go to UC Merced. Like I just kind of look for like common like similarities that we have, and I'm like I just offer the opportunity to a lot of people. Before I was very selective with like who I would send it out to, like send out my script and like send messages to people. But I learned that if I prejudge people and assume that, oh, this person's gonna do it, this person's not gonna do it, I'm already like setting myself up to not even succeed. So I'm like, why not just
Mhm.
like not judge anybody and offer this opportunity to everybody? Because when I offer this opportunity, I feel like I'm gonna be able to help people. But sometimes people don't see it like that. People are like, oh, like I'm not trying to do it, or some people like don't even respond, or they just leave me on red, and so like it's fine. But I feel like at the end of the day, I'm really just reaching out to as many people as I can to ultimately just try to help them, because I actually have a business partner, and you actually remind me a lot of him. His name is Chris, like me. And the reason I say this because he has a septum piercing too. I reached,
Oh, nice, nice.
I reached out to him, and you remind me a lot of him. He was very like I'd say more like a little bit like quiet and reserved, but kind of extroverted. Like if we're friends, he'll be like kind of goofy, kind of funny. But like if you didn't know him, he'd be like, oh, I'm like quiet and
That
like
is
that.
kind of like me.
And so you kind of give me like his type of vibe. And so like he actually asked like the same question. Oh, so why me? Like like I have 6 connections on LinkedIn. Why did you send me
I
the
know
message?
like two people on LinkedIn. Well, I was curious because I was like, okay, how many messages are you sending? Like, and like, then I'm like, how many meetings are you having with people? Like,
That's why I say I talk to a lot of people like every day. Recently hasn't been a lot because I'm working full time now, but when I try to, like I can, and I'm really honestly investing the time into people, at my own will, because I'm not certain that you're gonna finish the whole 7 step selection process and that you're gonna want to actually be one of my business partners and start your own business. But that's the risk I'm willing to take. Why? Because
mhm,
I have a dream. I have a goal of wanting to actually, create a system, create a potential, long lasting, scalable business. And in doing that, not just doing it for the profit, but I'm really doing it for the people. And I'm not gonna lie, the first time when I did this, I'm like, oh, I need money, I need extra money on the business, like I need extra side money. So like I would just do it for the profit. But now after like seeing and really being able to impact certain people like in my team, I won't like say names because like it's obviously like some of their stuff is like like private information that they're going through like mentally. But I've been able to really help people in this business, and so what we really value is people before profit. And
mhm,
I've been able to help people from UC Merced, like college students younger than me, freshmen, sophomores, and man, to have them like break down in front of me to share with me their problems and me being able to have the resources to help them, I'm like, man, that's a lot more valuable than just money, because I'm able to
yeah,
impact this person for their life, whether they stay in this business or not. I still know that I was able to help them in some type of way, and that gives me more peace of mind, more like sense of like belonging. Like I'm like, dang, I was able to help this person. Maybe with a little thing, maybe with something really drastic in their life. Maybe I'm still helping people. But that's another big thing. But I think after today, I'd actually like to send you one of my mentor's videos. He kind of makes like some material to kind of like help you understand a little bit more about like entrepreneurship and stuff like that. But I want to send you a video from my mentor Phil. He's gonna kind of talk a little bit about entrepreneurship, but kind of like about like the wheel of life. I'm not sure if you've heard about it, but it's pretty much like 8 different categories of like what you want in life. One's like
mhm,
impact, legacy, time, money, quality family time, physical health, entertainment, like spiritual, a lot of different things. And when I ask people that, some people are like, "Oh, I want one and two, or I want these two." Me, I'm like, I want all of them. If it's possible, let me get them all. But
mhm,
um, I think that video would definitely kind of maybe answer more of your questions and kind of break things down a little bit more for you. Also, because you said that you don't know so much about the entrepreneurial side, it might break it down step by step for you, and then you actually might get the chance, like you get the chance to see my mentor in a video as well, so you can kind of like see who he is, and not just a random guy named Phil. But
yeah,
how
sure.
how
Please send me the video.
yeah, it's like an hour long. It's like not less. It's like 50 minutes. Um, excuse me. How long do you think it would take you to like watch it? Maybe like take some notes on it too, because I mean, at least for me, like when I watched it, I watched it times two speed. I did not remember anything, but then I watched it again. And I take notes. I'm like, okay, I see what he's spitting now. So the only reason I say
I
like,
think I think I'll say like a few days just because I have like schoolwork and
yeah,
stuff.
no, well, you know, yeah, you said you're a fourth year, right?
Mhm.
You're gonna finish soon.
I know it should literally be like my second class ends August, like it's like July 3rd to August. No, maybe like August 15th.
Yeah,
And I'm not sure if there's a graduation in the summer or if I have to wait until August, but I've applied for graduation. I'm kind of like, whoa, I didn't think I was ever gonna get here. Still kind of am like until I see that freaking
yeah,
cap down,
the cap and gown. Yeah, that's where it gets
I'm
you.
not I'm not sure.
No,
But
yeah.
no, I'm excited.
Well, that's awesome. I mean, I'm excited for you. You know, graduation has always kind of been like a. I always get like nervous. I don't know. I'm like, oh man, like, because after it happened, it's like, man, now what? But it's like
Yeah,
leading up to it though. It's like that, like, oh, it's like building up in you that you like, oh man, walking on the stage, like, waving, like throwing the cap, like, oh man. I remember my
it's
graduation,
a,
like for high school, it was
mhm.
so surreal. I was like there, like minutes before I graduated. I walk out, throw the cap. I recorded it too, and I'm like, after that, I'm like, wait, now what? Like I'm done with school. Like I'm out. Like finally, like it's all over. But
Yeah,
yeah, but
it's
yeah,
definitely like a finalizing thing of a chapter,
yeah.
you know.
It's
I wanted to ask, how old are you?
mm, I'm 20.
No way.
Yeah, I turned 21 in December.
Guess how old I am.
You said you're in your fourth year. You took a gap year.
It doesn't share on my LinkedIn, huh?
No, but if I'm taking an estimated guess, let me see. Without knowing what year you were born, I'm just gonna assume 23 to 24.
I'm 25.
25?
I just turned 25 in May.
Okay, well, if I knew, like, I should have asked, like, what month. Then I could have. I was close, 24.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty
Yeah.
good.
Well, it's. Oh, the gap year is kind of what threw me off. Because you probably, like,
Yeah, because I was
25. Okay.
2018. 2018 is when I started.
Okay.
And then
No, I
I
mean,
took a gap like year, almost year and a half during
mm,
COVID.
okay, okay. You don't look 25.
You don't look 20.
Do I look older?
I think the glasses. You look professional, like,
Okay, without the
but
glasses.
not like old, like bad.
Okay.
Like
Like, some, like,
you're youth America,
Youth America.
youth of America.
Youth of
There you go.
America. No, yeah. Well, I turned 21 in December, so I'll be a little older then.
You're still so young, but now you're not gonna be drinking.
Nah, I, I've done that already in the past. Not good.
So you're gonna be 21, buying no,
Caprice.
renting a car is 25.
Mm,
I'm not sure. I don't know what other milestone you are. I'm just kidding.
nah, you're good.
That's still exciting. That's still exciting.
Oh, yeah, no, congratulations. Or happy belated birthday, 2025.
Thank you.
Yeah, and happy congratulatory graduation because you're gonna graduate. There's no doubt about it.
I'm nervous, but thank you.
Now you got it. But yeah, I mean, this was like a really cool meeting. It was really cool talking to you, getting to know you more. Um, but yeah, I mean, if you don't have any other questions, comments, concerns, we can kind of just stay in touch. Um, Usually, I exchange contact information. We don't have to do that if you're not comfortable. It's completely fine. I understand. If not, we can kind of just keep it on LinkedIn. Um, Ultimately, your call. I'm just saying that because like my LinkedIn like checking is like I need to get better at it. But
Mm, me too. I think I responded to your message like 20 minutes before we were gonna have a meeting, and
I
you messaged me at 11 a.m.
no, you're all good. I remember I texted you like when I was on my break, and I was like, oh wait, I'm pretty sure I have a meeting. So I checked my calendar, and so I was like, oh, let's see if she still is gonna meet up, like if she's still interested. And so
Mhm.
then I checked on my lunch, like, oh dang, maybe she's like not gonna show up. I'm like, it's all right, like it happens all the time. Where like I text people and they just don't respond. Maybe she's not. And then I check on my Like as soon as I'm about to get off of work, I see him like, oh wait, okay, she's so interested. Awesome. But
Well, yeah, I don't know when we would connect again, but um, I'd be down to give you my contact info.
for sure, yeah,
I would
here.
I would, I would want to know like what to like. Hey Chris, I'm ready for our other meeting, or like what?
Oh,
I feel like
actually,
what would I? It would
the
be like after then talk watching the video. I mean,
that's actually a great question because I actually forgot to share this with you, and this is something I wish Tona, my business partner, told me when I was in the process.
his name
Um,
is Tona,
yeah, his name is Tona,
like Tona Tio.
like Tona Tio. Yeah, literally Tona. Why?
Nice.
Oh, like the sun god.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with that name? Is it like good or bad?
No, it's very good. My sister, she had a pit bull named Tornatio, and then I know somebody named Tornatio
I'm
as
gonna call him
well.
a pitbull now. No, yeah,
He's a sweetheart. The guy was a sweetheart. The
his name
pit
is
bull.
yeah, his name is Tona Tio, but we call him Tona. And when I first met that guy, I'm like, damn, I've never met anybody named that like Tona. But
Mhm.
like I was saying, I actually wish he shared that advice with me. The process is all in your hands. I'm never like gonna be like, well, how far was I say? Pretty much the process is all in your hands. Like if you ask me, hey, can you send me another video? Hey, can we meet up again? I'm never gonna be like, no, I'm not gonna meet up with you ever again. Like it's in your control. Like if you want to meet up the next day, all right, like by all means, like because something that I like to share too is I don't like to hold people back when it comes to like their potential because I feel like if someone wants to learn, if they're hungry, if they're eager, if they're ambitious to learn, I'm not. Why would I hold them back? Because something that I've actually learned from Tona is that I like to give people back the same energy they give me. So like if someone's like ambitious and they're like actually responding back to me, hey, I finished the video. What's the next step? All right, I'm gonna obviously prioritize this person a lot more. Why? Because they're interested in learning about something. When maybe someone else who's also learning about this business and they're like, they lag on me, they leave me on scene. And I'm not saying that's bad, but I can just see, like, okay, how bad do you want it? And the only reason I say that is because I'm gonna be honest, it took me like a month and a half to finish this like 7 step process. But I'm gonna be honest, I was working full time, taking summer classes, I was still smoking, big people pleaser, and then I would like spend a lot of time with my girlfriend. So like I kind of just like I was all over the place. I was getting pulled by like each ligament, and so it was
Hmm.
really hard for me to kind of balance all this. But actually, I'll just leave it to Tona. I'll let Tona tell you how long it took him. But my coach, she finished in like 3 weeks, and I'm like, dang.
Okay.
I'm like, how'd you do that? So like, if you really put your mind to it and you want to do it quick, by all means, I'm not gonna stop you. I'm not gonna hold you back. I'm like, all right, dang. Else is gonna go crazy. Like she's doing step 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, calm down. But
In 1 week. Nah, I'm just kidding.
I mean, I'm not
We'll
gonna
have to
stop.
see. We'll have to see.
I'm not gonna stop you. But yeah. Oh well, let me get your. Yeah, you put it in here. I'll just send you a message. I'll say this is Chris.
I'm hearing Chris, Tona, Phil.
You're gonna see a video of Phil. I'll send you a video so you can put a face to his name. What are your plans for the rest of the day today?
I have to finish some homework, and then my boyfriend just got back from New York, so I'm gonna go visit.
From New York?
Went to go visit his sister family trip for like a week.
Have you ever been to New York?
Never.
Me neither. My girlfriend's gone
I
too, and I was like, man, she said it's really cool over there though.
don't know if I would ever live there, but I want to visit. I've only ever been to like Mexico, um, Oregon, and Hawaii.
Yeah, I've only been to Mexico, Nevada, here. Oh, actually, no, that's a lie. I've been to Baltimore. I forgot. I was almost forgetting. I went to Baltimore for like a big business conference. It's like once a year. I went there. I'm like, man, out of my comfort zone for sure. Never flew by myself with like just business partners. Like, dude, this is awesome. So I was like, why not? Like, I do not want to miss on this opportunity. It was in October. Yeah, and I went to Baltimore. Like, it was amazing. It was awesome. I was like, awesome. Like,
Where's that?
Baltimore is in the East Coast, so it's in Washington.
Okay, East
Yeah,
Coast,
not
and then
Washington. There's two, but the one in the East Coast, over
yeah,
there,
Washington, Oregon. No.
Washington, Maryland.
Oh, I'm talking. There's a Washington
There's two. There's two. That's why. There's
in
one.
Oregon.
There's one
No,
above us. There's one above us. But then
that's the one I went to.
like I went to here, Washington, Maryland. It's like the one next to New York.
Yeah.
This one.
You
Yeah.
were only able to do the business meeting things.
What was that?
Were you only able to do like the
Oh
business
no, no,
call?
no. We planned it out. We went and then we like had like a whole day for fun. We just like explored. I saw the Washington Monument. I saw the big Abraham Lincoln. I'm like, dude, this is. I took pictures on my LinkedIn. I was like, it was awesome. It was cool. Like
That's so funny.
whenever we like do like I say like far trips or like when we go to like SoCal or do like any like little business trips, we always try to have like a fun day and like explore because we work hard but we play hard too. So like we like to go out explore because me, I'm also someone who likes to like do new experiences. So like I'd rather spend money
Mhm.
on that than like a materialistic thing. So like we're very similar to like that. So but yeah, I don't mean to yap more. But yeah, I mean
I'm sure there's a lot of stories to
yeah,
like
there's a lot of
on,
stories. We actually just came back from
but
camping recently, but that's another story too.
I'm excited to hear more. I'm looking forward to meeting with you again.
No, yeah, likewise. I'm actually really.
I'll respond. Hey, this is
Hey,
hey,
this
this
is.
is Elsie.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, I'll send you the video, and then you can kind of just share like a reflection or notes of like what you thought about it. And the only reason I say that is because I feel like, or no, I don't feel like it's scientifically proven that you'll retain the information more if you write it down. So
Mhm.
that's what I've learned, and so I've tried to like do that, and I want to like listen to like videos or things like that. But yeah, I mean, if you don't have any other questions, comments, concerns, we can wrap it up here now. And if you do, you have my phone number now, so just shoot me a text and I'll
Okay.
answer. Yeah,
Whenever you send me the video, so I have it down and take some notes, I'll reach out to you, tell you what I
awesome.
think.
Yeah,
But
sure.
thank you so much for meeting with me and like
Oh, thank you
sharing
for.
sharing so much about what you guys do.
Yeah, no, of course.
It's been fun though, really.
Likewise, likewise. Well, I hope you have a good rest of your day, and hope you have a good time with your boyfriend, and that you guys do something fun.
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
It was so nice meeting you.
Yeah, likewise. It's nice meeting you too. Take
Talk to you
care.
soon.
All right, talk to you soon then. I'll see. Bye bye.
Goodbye.
Bye bye. She's